Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
I'm meteorologist Brandon Weathers. A flood watch in effect until 11 p.m. Potentially severe storms today, with the main hazard being damaging winds, but some hail is also possible and an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. But the main concern will be flooding in the watch area until 11 p.m., where 1 to 2 inches or locally higher is very possible in this time frame. But then we quiet down Tuesday and Wednesday. Even during the day, Thursday should be mostly sunny. It would be later in the evening that widespread showers and storms return to the region. This evening, we have a front arriving from the northwest, and ahead of it is where the severe potential will be, mostly before 10 p.m. Non-severe storms may linger on the backside of that front overnight and then gradually push eastward through the day on Tuesday. But daytime accumulation, generally less than 1/10 of an inch, shouldn't be quite as wet of a day. Some fog possible overnight into Tuesday, then again overnight into Wednesday morning. Flies here W forecast. It starts at home. D.C., Atlanta, New York, Charlotte, Myrtle Beach. These areas seeing some lingering showers and storms from the same system Tuesday, then clearing out Wednesday and trending warmer at the end of the week ahead of the next rainmaker. Panhandle forecast. New Cumberland 57 tonight. Moundsville and Morgantown 59. We'll see about 76 to 79 here for our Tuesday. Davis 56 tonight. A bit milder toward Martinsburg's 64 low and 82 high. Back to Davis for a 67-degree high on Tuesday. Elkins 58 tonight. Then 73 for Tuesday. Looking toward Parkersburg. Ripley for just shy of 80. And in southern West Virginia, mid-50s to low 60s tonight, then low 70s to low 80s on Tuesday. As mentioned, the rain will taper off to the east Tuesday, will dry out Wednesday. Rain returns late Thursday and will stay active through the weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. For your entertainment, Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Or call 800-765-8255. Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, hello, West Virginia. We are back for more in the 304. Time to get it done in the 681. Time to start this 3-hour audio tour for Monday, June 22nd, 2026. Metro News Hotline. Metro News Hotline comes to you from the Salango Law Studios. Visit salangolaw.com. Got downtown today, dodging the raindrops. And for the moment anyway, it's not raining here in Charleston, which is good. 79 degrees. But it has been off and on showers through the afternoon and into the morning, early morning hours as well. So if you're out there running around listening to the program on our flagship 580 WCHS 580, just be aware. Just be aware as you leave the house. Coop, how you doing today? Good to see you. How was the weekend? How's the fam? Is your mic on? Coop, can you hear me? Is there something wrong in there, Coop? I know. Okay, Coop's not here. It's you, Ryan.
Yeah, it's me.
It's you, Ryan. Okay.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
I wanted to see how long I could go.
That's fine. That's fine.
Even if it makes the show sound worse, I have to know.
Yeah, that's okay. That was actually pretty funny. You forced me to address you by your Christian name, which I did.
Yeah.
Which I did. So Coop's out of the box today. Got some things he's got to work on. So hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. But you never know. You never know when it's going to be the last time that you're going to see someone. So just always make sure that you part on good terms. Mm-hmm. That's the way I look at it. We got a lot of stuff in the show today. busy weekend. What'd you do this weekend? I did a lot of stuff. What'd you do this weekend?
I didn't do too much. Just a normal weekend, but on Father's Day, my dad and we ate wings and watched that new movie Pressure with Brendan Fraser.
Oh, that's the World War II picture.
Yes, about the weather, which is a big topic.
Yeah,
these
so
days.
you know what? Brendan Fraser.
The
Whale.
Yeah.
Right? The Whale.
The Mummy.
The Mummy.
George of the Jungle.
Now I'm supposed to believe
Looney Tunes back in action.
He's Eisenhower, right? He's Eisenhower in the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, so how is it? How is it?
He stole the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you give it 2 thumbs up?
I'd give it 3 thumbs if I
you
had
had a third thumb?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm so glad. Like, I am legitimately so glad that Brendan Fraser has got the comeback he's gotten. You know, like, I can't think of another actor more deserving of a comeback than him, because he's genuinely a good actor.
Really?
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Well, you know what? I'm glad to hear you say the movie's good, because when I saw the trailer, I was like, Brendan Fraser as General Eisenhower? I can't see this. I can't see it. But there you go. That's good. That's good. Here's something that happened to me this weekend. I was at Kroger on Saturday in South Charleston. So this week they are moving from the old location across the street to the new market location, which is going to be one of the biggest in the country, right? So Saturday, there was nothing going on there. Everything was essentially gone except for small areas of the store. So if you went into the produce section, they were putting out strawberries, they had new bananas, they had all kinds of fruit and stuff. But, I mean, in terms of everything else, canned goods, milk, there was limited bread, all gone. So I think we spent like $50 or something like that.
Did you get PTSD flashbacks of the COVID pandemic when all the store shelves were empty?
It was pretty.
Couldn't find any toilet paper.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember the name of that show on Apple TV. That's sort of a scene of, like, you know, a lot of emptiness. Okay. Severance. Thank you. Severance. That's what I'm thinking of.
Prehistoric Planet.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask you this. I have not been buying orange juice because it's too expensive.
Oh.
It's too expensive. And they say it's not that great for you.
Do
right?
you
But
drink
Linda loves it.
Do you drink it with or without pulp?
I like a little pulp. Like mid-pulp, I guess.
Okay.
So we bought some orange juice because they were basically giving the stuff away. And we hadn't bought it in a long time. So Linda really likes it. And for the last couple of mornings, she's been leaving me a little glass of orange juice in the refrigerator. Like, drink this.
Like, how little are we talking? Like a little small cup or like shot glass little?
Oh, no, yeah, small cup. Okay. Yeah, not shot glass. Yeah. Jerry Seinfeld has a great routine about orange juice, where orange juice is now so expensive, you just basically, they pour some on a napkin and you can dab yourself with it. But I just don't want to get back into the habit of drinking orange juice, because I know if I'm drinking these little teasers that she's leaving for me in the refrigerator, I'm just going to get right back to it. And I just don't want to get back into the expensive habit of orange juice.
Maybe she wants you to get back into it.
I know.
So you'll buy orange juice.
I'll buy her all the orange juice she wants, okay? But I come from a generation, that would be kind of like the thing your dad might say. I come from a generation where you could drink an entire glass of orange juice. Now you couldn't do that without taking out a second mortgage.
You can still do that, I'm fairly certain.
On holidays, maybe, special occasions?
You make it sound like you're buying like expensive scotch or something. It's like it's orange juice.
It sort of is like this. One other thing from my Kroger experience, I literally saw a woman as I was checking out come in, look frustrated, turn around and go directly back out. I mean, she got into the store and she realized that there was nothing in there, and she just like spun around and did a 180 or 360, I guess, a 360, and just went right out the door.
No, it would have been a 180, a 360. She would have still been in the store.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
I know my skateboard vernacular.
You know your moves.
But on an unrelated note, was the liquor section open?
No, there was no beer. There was no wine. Nothing.
Maybe that's why she left.
Yeah, maybe. Here's the other thing too, and I didn't really think about this experience until I had it. Right in the front, they had a display of Kroger hot dog and hamburger rolls, the Kroger brand, which I'm sure is fine.
Yeah,
which I'm sure is fine. But then they had one lone Pepperidge Farm hot dog roll package. But it was alone. So I'm thinking, what's wrong with this? Why is the one name brand package of hot dog rolls there while the others are all the generic Kroger brand? So I didn't buy it.
Okay.
I didn't buy it. I
Were
thought
you
about
making hot dogs anyway?
Well, we will some point this week. We're just basically actually.
Are you going into the store with the express purpose of buying hot dog rolls?
Oh, let me tell you, my trips to the market on the weekends.
Stop dodging the question, Dave. Were you buying the hot dog rolls or not, Dave?
No, I was not buying the hot dog rolls.
Then why are you complaining about what hot dog rolls were there or weren't?
But here's the point. My trips to the market on the weekend are very strategic.
Yeah.
I have the list that's created. I know the aisle where the items are, so I can basically not a lot of wasted movement. I'm in, I'm out, boom, boom. I get my discounts, my coupons, all that stuff. Now, this was just kind of a mission for fun to see that what was left over at the Kroger. We're basically fasting until Wednesday. And I said to Linda, I go, we could always just go somewhere else. There's multiple Kroger locations. A lot of people speak highly of Aldi. I saw where the IGA in St. Albans is, pounding the drum saying, hey, we're clean. Come visit us, in a very good ad campaign. But for whatever reason, she's loyal to this one specific area of town to shop. We can't go anywhere else. So we're basically fasting or eating the food that we have in the home until they open up this new location on Wednesday.
I got a text from Dave Allen. Who calls them hot dog rolls?
What do you call what are they supposed to be called?
Hot dog buns?
Hot dog. Oh, okay. Yeah. Did I call them hot dog rolls?
Yes.
I probably did.
And then you got me to call them hot dog rolls. How dare you?
See, I'm having a little I'm rubbing off on you there. But anyway, that's kind of so I'm kind of in this weird period of supermarket limbo.
Kroger limbo.
Kroger limbo. I'm changing my my morning routine to save milk. There's no, there's probably going to be a day between either today or tomorrow before Wednesday where we're going to have to break down and buy the old gas station milk.
Okay.
You ever bought gas station milk?
Oh, yeah, it's terrible. It tastes like dirty
is
water.
Is it terrible?
Yes.
Is it terrible?
It tastes like it's like grainy, and you feel like there's something in it even if you don't taste it, and it's like, ugh.
Well, you know what? I think the last time I bought gas station milk, it was okay. It was a major local manufacturer, and I got it at the Exxon station on McCorkle, and it worked out. Mm-hmm. It worked out. I was forced to buy a gallon, instead of a half a gallon, but it was okay. But it was funny though. When I was in the produce section, they put out all brand new bananas, and they were all green bananas, and I thought, wow, that's really optimistic.
Yeah,
that's really optimistic because nobody's going to be left to go to this store by the time they get ripe.
Yeah. Guess you're right.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. So that'll be coming up on Wednesday, and I know I'm not the only person that experienced that. We got a lot of stuff in. Are you going to be offended if I get into the sports stuff of the show?
Yes, but I won't stop you.
You won't stop? Okay, let me just tell you about some of the sports stuff we got today.
Tell me or tell the audience?
Well, I'm speaking to you.
Okay.
You're paid to be here. Okay,
yes.
So you sort of have to listen. But the audience, the mass audience that's hearing this program right now, they're not forced to listen to the show. They have tons of choices. So it's our job as the
don't encourage them,
as the host to make with the smarty comments and act like we know what we're talking about. So that's what I'm trying to do out here. I mean, I'm dancing on the wire, man.
Don't encourage them to leave, Dave.
No, I'm not forcing him to leave. So we got a lot of stuff we got to get into today. Oh, the pro cycling event this weekend in Charleston.
Mm-hmm.
Could this thing have gone any better? I mean, the weather was perfect.
Yeah.
I heard some people moaning and groaning on the show previous to mine, but I'm not going to give you any bad vibes on that. I think this is a great event. Just think about the dollars that it brings to the city. We were guesstimating that probably this year when they total it all up. Probably going to be somewhere between $7.5 million economic impact. Restaurants are all full. Mm-hmm. Hotels were all full. Now, there was a little touch and go, remember, on Friday on whether or not I was going to be able to make it to the show?
Yeah.
So I did what? I had to suffer through like maybe 10 minutes of additional traffic.
Then I would have been able to host the show.
Well, you know what they
say. Would have been really fun.
Like Donald Sutherland said in the movie JFK, the first rule of a coup d'etat is it must be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you were ready, right?
Yeah.
Were you ready to do the show if I hadn't showed up on Friday? You and Coop would have done the show together.
I was mentally prepared, but not physically prepared. So
tell you what,
it probably would have turned out bad, but that would have been funny enough to make it worth it.
That's probably right. But I mean, to do a 3-hour show, it takes a little physical and mental stamina.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've heard. Sports stuff today. Hey, our question of the day, we're going to talk a little bit about this. It's a massive story in college sports. So the head coach of the reigning national champs, Dusty May from Michigan, is now going to be the new head coach of the Dallas Mavericks of the NBA. And he's moving to the Mavs on the eve of the NBA draft, which is tomorrow night. So something tells me that this situation may have been percolating for a while, but that is pretty interesting. That's a pretty good situation. So Dusty May is going to be move from the reigning NCAA basketball champs, Michigan, and go into the NBA where he's going to coach Cooper Flagg. So that's what our question of the day is going to concern itself with. So we'll be getting into that. I mentioned the NBA draft tomorrow. One thing, now the NBA draft this week, they've changed the format just a little bit. I think they had this format last year, where tomorrow night all we're going to see is the first round. Then on Wednesday, we'll have the second round of the draft. And there's a little bit of chatter out there, just a little bit of a murmur, a possibility that Wyatt Fricks of Marshall might go somewhere near the end of the second round. He has worked out for multiple NBA teams. He is on a host of mock drafts as going late in the second round. He is not in the latest NBA ESPN mock draft that was released today. So we'll talk maybe a little bit more about that. North-South game was on Saturday afternoon at South Charleston. You know, they've had multiple years where it was too hot or it rained. Weather was perfect on Saturday, and it was a dominant performance by the North Bears, so congratulations to them. U.S. Open Golf Championship was this weekend at Shinnecock Hills. Todd Wright, former anchor at ESPN Radio, the Golf Channel, one of my good friends, he will be here at 5:33. We'll break some of that down. Carly's going to be here at 5 o'clock as well. Let's see. World Cup. Messi scored a pair of goals today, including one in extra time for the Argentinian national team as they blanked Austria 2-0. Messi is now the all-time leading scorer in World Cup play, full stop. That's impressive. That's really impressive. So we're keeping our eyes on that. Baseball, the Dirty Birds won a pair of games this weekend. They struggled for most of the week in Hagerstown against the Flying Boxcars. They won yesterday. They squeaked by and won a run game on Saturday. Today is an off day in the Atlantic League. They will be back at it. Oh, look at Jeff. Jeff Jenkins is here. How about your Reds taking 2 or 3 from the Yankees this weekend?
They play well against the Yankees. I think they've won the last 7 of 9.
No, how about that? How about the fact? So yesterday in the game, now Garrett Cole was supposed to pitch, but he didn't. So that was good news for the Reds.
Pushed him back a day.
Yeah, so he's going tonight. But I don't think it would have mattered the way Chase Burns was pitching yesterday.
Yeah, pitched well. It's more of it was good 5 innings, and I think it lowered his ERA now to an even 2 for the season.
There you go. And the Yankees had 6 stolen bases yesterday. How many times do you steal 6 bases in a home game and lose? That's got to be a very, very rare situation. Ryan, since you're the substitute producer today, are you doing good, bad, and the ugly, or is that a solo mission for me?
It's a solo mission.
Well, okay, so I'm not going to burn all my good stuff.
You're going into the desert all on your own. Okay. No food, no water, just your wits and your grit and your gristle.
Well, since I don't have any of that, it's going to be a dangerous mission. But I'm not going to burn all my stuff right now on that. But I have a couple of Pirates things that are kind of unbelievable from this weekend. So, I think that's basically... Oh, let me set the question. Oh, and the Geno Smith thing. Jeff, are you hearing about this?
No.
Oh, you don't know anything about the Geno Smith thing?
Sorry.
Okay, we're going to get into some people are avoiding this topic. This is not one of those shows. We will talk about what's going on with Geno Smith. But I'm going to wait until you're ready to hear the crazy Geno Smith story. Okay, so Dusty May leaving Michigan. He's going to the Dallas Mavericks. So the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law, is this. There should be a sound effect here. Right, there we go. Why have so many college basketball coaches failed when they moved on to the NBA? Why have so many successful college basketball coaches failed when they moved on to the NBA? To respond, text those in 304-TALK 304. 304-8255-304. Tweet me. I'm on Exit Weekly. WEEKLEY. All right, Jeff, what do you got in the news? What's happening?
Governor Morsi has just announced because the state capitol is having a state celebration of 250, right?
Right.
And they just announced Alabama is coming.
Really?
Yeah. So,
really?
So Alabama, they've secured Alabama.
Wow.
So you got that and the regatta concerts. So it'll be a big night.
I have a really good story about Alabama.
Alabama's been to Charleston a few times.
They've been to Charleston a few times.
And Morgantown a few times.
Okay.
So that just came in. So we'll get that posted.
Oh, that's good.
Do a story coming up. Also, in a quadruple murder case, you don't have many of those. There's this Gavin Smith was convicted once of killing his family in Kanawha County back in 2020. He was convicted in 2022, got a new trial because of an error in the trial, and pled guilty today to all 4 killings. The charges have changed a little bit in the plea bargain agreement. You can read that at the website, wvmetronews.com.
So let me ask you this.
Yep.
So this Morsi announced in Alabama, is this like counter-programming against the regatta?
No, they're all together on this.
Okay.
They're all together. The 4-day celebration will also feature the Western Symphony Orchestra and Southern rock icons, the Marshall Tucker Band, on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
So you got the Marshall Tucker Band. So we got Alabama will perform Friday, July 3rd.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Thank you, Jeff.
Alabama and the Marshall Tucker Band.
Well, there you go. Southern rock. All right. We'll take a break and come back with more in a moment. Stay tuned.
I was proud to be a soldier.
I told the truth.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
At Dan Cabot GMC. Now get up to $12,000 off any 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate. Shop our great selection of new Acadias and Canyons. Lease a 2026 GMC Canyon Elevation for only $575 per month. And don't forget to check out our quality pre-owned vehicles. At Dan Cabot GMC, shop the world.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
West Virginia is home. It's where we work, live, and raise our families. At the heart of our communities are West Virginia hospitals and their compassionate caregivers. From life-saving treatments and emergency care to wellness support and screening services, we are improving your quality of life through extraordinary achievements and amazing results. West Virginia Hospitals. Your health is the heartbeat of our communities.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! I'm Jeff Jenkins. The mother of Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf, who was shot while patrolling the streets of Washington, D.C. last year, was a guest earlier today on WEPM Radio.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
I'm meteorologist Brandon Weathers. A flood watch in effect until 11 p.m. Potentially severe storms today, with the main hazard being damaging winds, but some hail is also possible and an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. But the main concern will be flooding in the watch area until 11 p.m., where 1 to 2 inches or locally higher is very possible in this time frame. But then we quiet down Tuesday and Wednesday. Even during the day, Thursday should be mostly sunny. It would be later in the evening that widespread showers and storms return to the region. This evening, we have a front arriving from the northwest, and ahead of it is where the severe potential will be, mostly before 10 p.m. Non-severe storms may linger on the backside of that front overnight and then gradually push eastward through the day on Tuesday. But daytime accumulation, generally less than 1/10 of an inch, shouldn't be quite as wet of a day. Some fog possible overnight into Tuesday, then again overnight into Wednesday morning. FlyCRW forecast starts at home. D.C., Atlanta, New York, Charlotte, Myrtle Beach. These areas seeing some lingering showers and storms from the same system Tuesday, then clearing out Wednesday and trending warmer at the end of the week ahead of the next rainmaker. Panhandle forecast. New Cumberland 57 tonight. Moundsville and Morgantown 59. We'll see about 76 to 79 here for our Tuesday. Davis 56 tonight. A bit milder toward Martinsburg's 64 low and 82 high. Back to Davis for a 67-degree high on Tuesday. Elkins 58 tonight. Then 73 for Tuesday. Looking toward Parkersburg. Ripley for just shy of 80. And in southern West Virginia, mid-50s to low 60s tonight, then low 70s to low 80s on Tuesday. As mentioned, the rain will taper off to the east Tuesday, will dry out Wednesday. Rain returns late Thursday and will stay active through the weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I love the state of West Virginia. I've met some of my best friends. I'm excited to be back. I still have my pickup truck. I still have four-wheel drive. One of the ladies asked me in the forum if I know how to drive in the snow. I told her, oh, yeah, I spent 5 years in Elkins.
See, that's one of those things. Now that you're coming to Fairmont, you've handled the Elkins winter.
Yeah, if you can handle Randolph County.
I mean, you're moving. This is basically coming back to Florida here when you get to Fairmont. I mean, this is easy.
It's going to be a breeze.
Sportsline on Metro News Television. If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
Gentlemen, I could not care less if you read this message. All right, moving on to the next one. 304 Talk 304. Well, they said it, not me.
Oh, that's terrible. Read the guy's phone.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
All right, welcome back to our radio program today, Metro News Hotline. Ryan, who's sitting in for Coop today. Ryan, we've got a couple of responses already on the email, social media about our conversation about orange juice.
Mm-hmm.
So to recap, in case you're late, I mentioned that I went to Kroger with a Kroger that is closing in South Charleston before they move across the road into Park Place on Wednesday, and they had a lot of discounted orange juice. I don't buy it because it's a little bit too expensive, and I know if I start drinking it again, I'm going to get addicted to it. So we've been Linda is drinking it, and I'm not drinking it, despite the fact she is leaving glasses of it for me in the refrigerator.
The way you phrase it makes it sound like it's illicit. You know, it's like, oh, I got on the wagon again. I'm on the orange juice again.
I literally like orange juice, but I just don't want to get back into the habit of drinking.
Yeah, but you make it sound like it's like hard liquor.
I know. And the fact that Linda really enjoys it, it makes me feel like maybe I've been keeping something from her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's not good. But here's a listener, 304-282. Dave, if you like orange juice, drink a Mountain Dew. I hadn't even thought that's pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty interesting take. And then in regards to my comment about gas station milk,
mm-hmm.
and more to the point, your description of gas station milk.
Yeah.
304-671. Guys, it's the same damn milk. So that is a pretty good comment. I'm not going to argue with that. We'll get into the sound of sports. Coming up on the show, 5 o'clock, or rather at 4 o'clock, Chef Paul Smith is going to be here. Now listen, Chef Paul Smith, when he comes on the show, we talk about food prep, the restaurant business here in West Virginia, and we love your questions about those topics. The text line here is 304-TALK-304, which you should know by now, 304-8255-304. So send me those in. But I will warn you in advance, we got some pretty good ones from last week that we didn't get a chance to get to. So we're going to talk about the James Beard ceremony that he was, the so-called Oscars of the restaurant world that he was attending last week, and a couple of questions about scrambled eggs and some other things. And Giovanni sandwiches, which is a West Virginia delicacy, which started in north central West Virginia. We'll talk a little bit about that. But if you got any questions for Chef Paul, send those along. Also, at 4:33 today, Kristyn Burtt's got the Hollywood Dirt. She was off last week. Oh, she's loaded for bear. So we're going to talk a little bit about the weekend at the movies and other entertainment news happenings. Do you think you'll go see Toy Story 5? Have you aged out of Toy Story 5?
I've aged out of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I can still appreciate the films, but I'm not going to go out of my way to watch them.
Yeah, I can see that. I kind of feel the same way. I mean, it'll eventually appear on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably what. I have not seen any of the Toy Story movies outside of the first one.
Oh,
which was good.
The second and third ones are good.
That's what I heard. I heard the 4 took a little bit of a step back.
Mm-hmm.
But Jermaine Lucier was on the show last week, and he loved it. And he said 4 was kind of a misstep, but they get back in stride in Toy Story 5. And the box office numbers are crazy good. Let's see. Question of the day. And we already have a bunch of response to this. We are going to do a little bit of sporty sports, on the program today. Question of the day. After winning a national title, Michigan's Dusty May is leaving the college game for the Dallas Mavericks. So here's the question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law. Why have so many successful college basketball coaches failed, and some have failed miserably, when they moved on to the NBA? Why have so many successful college basketball coaches failed when they moved on to the NBA. You know the text line. I just read it. You can also reach me on X at Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. John in Martinsburg sent me this. Why do most of all coaches in the NBA fail? College coach or not, only 38 different coaches have won titles. Yeah, that's pretty solid. That's a pretty solid response right there. Thank you, John. Let me get a couple. Here's Rob Reel from Inside the Building. Morning man, up real early, 96.1 Superstar Country. Dave, it's a different skill set, talking about college coaches as opposed to coaches in the NBA. It's a different skill set. Much like some actors can only do one film, TV, or theater, while others are great at 2 or all 3. That's a good take, too. Let's see. Bananas for WV. Hey, Dave, because players are divas in the NBA, have the college coaches go out to L.A. and then some starlets have become their personnel assistants for a year. If they survive that, then they'll be ready to be an NBA coach. Jody on X. Dave, it's always been a different relationship. But as NIL evolves and no guidance from the NCAA, I fear the college game will start to resemble the pros. Not a good thing. You know, I was going to make the point. I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to make the point about this later. I think the fact that current coaches dealing with the laissez-faire transfer rules and the fact that you basically have to start from scratch and build a new team every single year and NIL payments and it's more of a transactional situation as opposed to, getting down and trying to get relationships going with families, that sort of thing, like the old coaches did, that the lines are becoming blurred, that college coaches now are a lot more like NBA coaches, and your probability of success going from the college game to the NBA may be improving. Yeah, just a theory. I tell you what, let's go ahead and do the Sound of Sports. We're going to do the Sound of Sports now, and it is Monday, so that means it's a NASCAR Monday. And what a great day for Corey Heim at the inaugural road course at the Naval Base Coronado on Sunday near San Diego. He slammed into the wall twice, destroying his tires during the first few runs yesterday, but his number 67 Toyota kept getting faster on the way to his first career Cup Series win in just his 13th start.
Coronado. You talked about the difference in positions. Corey Heim, this is his 13th start in the Cup Series. His crew chief, Booty Barker, his 599th start. He has 2 wins on top of the pit box. What would it mean to 2311 to bring Corey Heim to victory lane?
The star is born here today. It's America 250. It's a red, white, and blue paint scheme. And a young superstar is going to get it done. In his 13th career start, it's Corey Heim who will win at Naval Base Coronado.
So Heim's just 23. He's the 2024 Truck Series champ, and he won't move full-time into the Cup Series until next year with 2311 Racing. Bubba Wallace finished second for a 1-2 finish for 2311, the team co-owned by Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan. Here's Corey Heim after his Sunday drive in San Diego.
Hit the wall a couple times, maybe it knocked some good into the car. I have no idea. After stage 2, I just kind of took a deep breath and was like, I had really high expectations coming into this race. It's an even playing field for me. I don't see that every day for a young driver like myself. And I just kind of took a deep breath and reset and went after it. So caught a couple breaks with some of the good guys wrecking out, but they don't ask how, just how many.
Yeah, that's a solid point there. It's the second time in 3 years that a new street race has produced a first-time winner. Shane Van Gisbergen won his Cup debut in the Chicago street race 3 years ago. And speaking of SVG, NASCAR will stay out in California and head north to Sonoma next weekend, where Van Gisbergen is the defending champ of that event. From golf at Shinnecock Hills in New York, Wyndham Clark has joined an exclusive club, winning his second U.S. Open, but not before some Sunday drama as he watched his final round six-shot lead cut to 1 when he tapped in to complete a one-stroke victory.
Yeah! And it's wire to wire for Wyndham.
Let's go!
And a second U.S. Open championship.
So Clark becomes the 9th wire-to-wire winner of the U.S. Open after a final round 3 over par 73. Sam Burns finished 1 shot back after missing makeable birdie putts on number 17 and number 18 in his final round. Here's Wyndham Clark after winning his second U.S. Open.
To you. Oh, man, I mean, the first one was amazing, and this one seems even better. I think especially after such a sour taste last year in this championship, to have some redemption and win this again is, I mean, gosh, it's almost surreal. Talk a little.
All right, so Todd Wright, ESPN and Golf Channel alum, will join us at 5:33 for more on the just completed U.S. Open. From baseball, in Denver, the Pirates avoided a weekend sweep at the hands of the Rockies, winning 8-6 on Sunday. Brian Reynolds gave the Bucks some breathing room with a 3-run homer in the 7th inning. So here let's hear that.
Yeah, he can pick up his 50th RBI right now if he wanted to.
Yeah.
And
high
he did.
Fly ball to deep right field. Clear the deck. Cannonball coming. Upper deck tank shot from Brian Reynolds. Anchor down. Number 11. And yeah, get that RBI total up over 50. 51 runs driven in.
Stay hot, B-Ray. You are Mr. June himself. That's a beautiful thing. That 3-run homer, there's nothing better in baseball from the offensive.
So Reynolds' homer was big. It gave the Pirates a 7-run lead at the time before the Rockies got the tying run to the plate in the 9th before the Bucks finally got the game's final out. One more note on this game. Bucks starter Jared Jones, who just rejoined the rotation, left the game after he was struck on the right elbow by a comebacker by T.J. Rumfield to end the third. Jones was clearly upset about it, but the Pirates announced after the game that initial tests on the elbow were negative. The Pirates are off tonight before starting a homestand against the Mariners at PNC Park tomorrow night. Mitch Keller, the right-hander, will go in the series opener. In New York, the Reds took the rubber game of their weekend set with the Yankees 4-1 on Sunday. Chase Burns tossed 5 innings of 1-run ball, and Tyler Stevenson had the game's biggest hit, a 3-run homer in the 4th off Yankees rookie Elmer Rodriguez.
Starting pitcher. Here's Tyler Stevenson. And Stevenson gives it a ride. Left field. Caballero fading back. And that is gone into the bullpen. Number 6 for Stevenson. A 2-out, 3-run shot. And it slingshots the Reds ahead. It's 3-1 Cincinnati.
You can throw that pitch in Double-A and Triple-A. You can't throw it up here. A 3-1 fastball right down Broadway.
The Reds won this game despite the Yankees stealing 6 bases on Sunday. Chase Burns allowed just 1 run on 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, and 3 walks in 5 innings. Burns becomes the first Reds pitcher to win 8 straight decisions since Tom Browning, the late Tom Browning, in 1989. Brady Singer, the right-hander, goes for the Reds tonight as they open a series in Milwaukee against the first-place Brewers. And in L.A., the Orioles hammered the Dodgers 12-1 on Sunday. The O's scored in each of the first 4 innings en route to winning this series. Colton Cowser, Blaze Alexander, each had 3 hits. Taylor Ward and Pete Alonso both homered. Here's the Polar Bear reaching the seats with a 3-run shot in the 7th inning.
Henderson will be intentionally walked with 2 out.
First and second for Alonso. Now that he's in Baltimore, he should be like the big crab.
A ball thumped the other way by Pete Alonso, sailing through the Los Angeles sky. And once again, Pete visits the bleachers at Dodger Stadium.
Well, you want to walk Gunnar Henderson? I mean, even though it was 3-0, you want to put him on for this guy? Yeah, you think polar bears don't like warm weather, but boy, we're learning otherwise today.
And finally, in Kansas City, it was another big game for former Mountaineer J.J. Weatherholt, who hit a pair of homers in a 12-10 Cardinals win over the Royals.
Business again.
Now it's the top of the order, and here's Weatherholt again. This home run was his 11th.
Now he goes backside. Collins on the run. Still going. He ran out of room again.
Stephen, somebody's going to have to rework those numbers that we just did. Add another homer to it. A 2-home run day, putting it on 12 on the season for the rookie J.J. Weatherholt.
7-2 Cardinals.
The J.J. Weatherholt becomes the 3rd Cardinals rookie with 2 multi-home run games prior to July, joining Albert Pujols in 2001 and Ken Boyer in 1955. We'll take a quick break. The good, the bad, and the ugly are next.
Hi.
My name is Daniel Callahan. I'm a project manager at Civil and Environmental Consultants. At CEC, I have the opportunity to lead projects across West Virginia, blending my technical skills with a team of experts and making a real impact. From planning to construction, we deliver results that help communities recover and thrive. Being an employee-owned company means that we all care deeply about our work. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
Planning your financial future doesn't have to be overwhelming. Huntington Bank is here to help. I'm Shelley Hustle, part of your local Huntington Wealth team right here in West Virginia. We work with people just like you to create smart strategies for life's big moments and market uncertainty. Tune in for Money Minutes this Thursday at 3:45 on Hotline, where we'll discuss the week's top financial trends and what they mean for you. Catch Money Minutes Thursday at 3:45 on Metro News Hotline.
Metro News Hotline, brought to you by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Come check out this 2026 Sierra 3500 all-wheel drive and dual rear wheels crew Denali and this 2026 Sierra HD chassis cab. Both built to work. If your job demands more, they both deliver. You can build it your way from the ground up with a chassis cab or get the fully loaded, ready-to-work Denali crew cab dually. Custom or complete, they are both ready for work. At Dan Cabot GMC, shop the world.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
A vasectomy reversal is a much more complicated procedure than a vasectomy, using sutures that are essentially smaller than your eyelash to reconstruct anatomy. I do what I do to try to help the patients of West Virginia have kids.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
3 guys before the game.
What did you know about Rich Rodriguez when he's named the coach?
I didn't know nothing about it. I was like, oh, this is college ball right here.
Yeah, it's for real.
Yeah. Available on Metro News Television.
All right, welcome back to the show. Time for the good, the bad, and the ugly. Starting the week with a segment that puts the spotlight on the best and the worst of the weekend. Puts things into perspective. We stole the title from one of our favorite movies, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I've got my list. Coop's off today, so it's a solo mission. All right. The good today, how about University High School's Jack Byer? Scored touchdowns in the North-South game on Saturday at South Charleston High in a variety of ways. He ran the ball. He threw the ball. He caught the ball. All for 6-pointers. And the North Bears had their way with the South Cardinals. Final score 34-7. There's a long, involved article about this game at the website, wvmetronews.com. Also, on Saturday from baseball, the Phillies became the second team in Major League history to have a player hit for the cycle, Bryce Harper, and a player hit 3 home runs, Kyle Schwarber, in the same game. The only time that had ever happened was the Yankees did it June 3rd, 1932. Tony Lazzeri hit the cycle, and Lou Gehrig hit 4 home runs. How about that? Speaking of baseball, my bad. Well, Pirates won yesterday, but they lost on Friday, and they lost on Saturday to the lowly Rockies. The Pirates are the only MLB team in the last 50 years to have the tying run on third with no outs in the 9th inning, 2 games in a row, and lose. Yeah, not good. And the ugly? Well, we were talking about Geno Smith. So Geno Smith is facing allegations against him that were posted on Instagram yesterday, Father's Day, around 5 o'clock. A woman named Kristyn is claiming that Geno Smith beat her up and that he has been mistreating his special needs child because he's watching too much porn and he loves Call of Duty too much. TMZ's on in the situation already today. They say they've got it under review. Fox Sports South Florida reports that the cops that are seen in the video have already noted that the case is closed. Geno Smith has not made any public comments about this situation yet, but it doesn't look great. It's not a good look for Geno. And that's the good, the bad, and the ugly for this Monday. We do it every week at this time. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and wrap the hour in a moment.
Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
At Daniels Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniels is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniels.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
At Dan Cava GMC, now get up to $12,000 off any 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate. Lease a 2026 GMC Canyon Elevation for only $575 per month. At Dan Cava GMC, shop the world.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
West Virginia is home. It's where we work, live, and raise our families. At the heart of our communities are West Virginia hospitals and their compassionate caregivers. From life-saving treatments and emergency care to wellness support and screening services, we are improving your quality of life through extraordinary achievements and amazing results. West Virginia Hospitals. Your health is the heartbeat of our communities.
All right, that's going to do it for the first hour of the show. By the way, we're getting some great responses to our question of the day and to our conversation in the hour, earlier in this hour, about orange juice and gas station milk. But right now, we got to take a break, okay? We'll take a break here at the top of the hour for news. When we come back, it's the first day on Wall Street for trading since last Thursday because of Juneteenth. What happened in the financial markets today? We'll also reset our question of the day and get a visit from Chef Paul Smith. We'll take your calls and questions via the text line about food and the restaurant business at 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
I'm meteorologist Brandon Weathers. A flood watch in effect until 11 p.m. Potentially severe storms today, with the main hazard being damaging winds, but some hail is also possible and an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. But the main concern will be flooding in the watch area until 11 p.m., where 1 to 2 inches or locally higher is very possible in this time frame. But then we quiet down Tuesday and Wednesday. Even during the day, Thursday should be mostly sunny. It would be later in the evening that widespread showers and storms return to the region. This evening, we have a front arriving from the northwest, and ahead of it is where the severe potential will be, mostly before 10 p.m. Non-severe storms may linger on the backside of that front overnight and then gradually push eastward through the day on Tuesday. But daytime accumulation, generally less than 1/10 of an inch, shouldn't be quite as wet of a day. Some fog possible overnight into Tuesday, then again overnight into Wednesday morning. FlyCRW forecast starts at home. D.C., Atlanta, New York, Charlotte, Myrtle Beach. These areas seeing some lingering showers and storms from the same system Tuesday, then clearing out Wednesday and trending warmer at the end of the week ahead of the next rainmaker. Panhandle forecast. New Cumberland 57 tonight. Moundsville and Morgantown 59. We'll see about 76 to 79 here for our Tuesday. Davis 56 tonight. A bit milder toward Martinsburg's 64 low and 82 high. Back to Davis for a 67-degree high on Tuesday. Elkins 58 tonight. Then 73 for Tuesday. Looking toward Parkersburg. Ripley for just shy of 80. And in southern West Virginia, mid-50s to low 60s tonight, then low 70s to low 80s on Tuesday. As mentioned, the rain will taper off to the east Tuesday, will dry out Wednesday. Rain returns late Thursday and will stay active through the weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour.
Navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more.
From a Mountain State point of view, Hotline is a no politics zone.
You can join the conversation.
Text the show at 304-825-5304.
304-TALK-304.
Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show, Metro News Hotline. Hey, wherever listening to the show today, inside the state of West Virginia or beyond the border, just trying to get a read on what's going on back home, we hope you're having a good day. We got a lot of stuff to get into in this particular hour. We will take a look at what happened in the financial markets today. We will reset our question of the day. Chef Paul Smith is back from Chicago, folks. He's back from Chicago, so we'll talk about his trip to the James Beard Awards, the so-called Oscars of the restaurant world. That's where we found him last week in the Second City. And we'll take your questions about food and the restaurant business. You can text those in, 304-TALK-304, 304-825-5304. A little bit later on, we got the entertainment report rolling your way at 4:25, 4:33. After a week off, Kristyn Burtt is back. Kristyn Burtt's back, so we'll get into some entertainment news. Maybe talk a little bit more about Toy Story 5, which really did massive business internationally this weekend. A little later in the hour, we'll open up the On This Date file, have the 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports. In that 5 o'clock hour, Carl Lee's going to be here, the former NFL All-Pro defensive back of the Minnesota Vikings and the Saints. Also, 5:25, we'll play In or Out. 5:33, Todd Wright's going to join us. Todd Wright, an alum of ESPN Radio and the Golf Channel and anchor there. So we're going to talk a little bit about Wyndham Clark and his win at the U.S. Open. Only one major left now for the rest of the season in golf. So we'll talk to Todd about golf. I always enjoy those segments. So that'll be coming up at 5:33, and then more of your responses to our question of the day before we get on out here and make room for the boys on Sportsline tonight. So here's what happened in the markets today. Remember, there was no trading on Friday because of Juneteenth, so this was the first session since last Thursday. The Dow eked out a win. Up 0.25%, gained about 150 points today, closing at 51,712. S&P 500 was down 0.4%, lost 28 points, closing at 74.72. NASDAQ was the big percentage loser today, down 1.3%. Tech taking a little bit of a wreck today. The NASDAQ was down 351 points, closing at 26,166. Amongst stocks of local interest to West Virginia that were big percentage gainers or losers today, Amazon was down 4.5%, lost $10.94, $233.45 at the close today. Conversely, Caterpillar was up 3.3%, tacked on a little more than $32 a share, ended the session. Oh, look at this. Over $1,000 a share now on CAT at $1,018.38. CAT, the symbol is CAT, if you didn't know that. FMC was down 5.1%, lost 60 cents, $10.96 at the close. And the energy space today. Oil sliding down, the volatile situation with the peace talks in Switzerland about what's going on in the Middle East. Oil was down 2% today, lost $1.57 WTI on the NYMEX, all the way down to $74.28, although you wouldn't really know it at the pump, would you? Natural gas trading now up 0.5%, tacked on 2 cents. Nat gas at the moment, $3.25 per unit. And Bitcoin today. Bitcoin, okay, up 1.1% today, adding almost 700 points. Well, $700. Now $715 at the moment. Crypto, Bitcoin going for $64,045. I've mentioned this a few times, that 60,000 is a psychological, very important level for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin falls below 60K, look out below. All right, here's our question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. From sports, after winning a national title, Michigan's Dusty May is leaving the college game for the NBA's Dallas Mavericks. The draft is tomorrow night. So here's the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. Why have so many successful college basketball coaches failed when they moved on to the NBA? Why have so many successful college basketball coaches failed when they moved on to the NBA? And this list is pretty extensive when you think about it. Some really big-name college coaches have failed when they tried to move on to the NBA. Let me give you a couple of these. Why don't we start with Rick Pitino? Rick Pitino, obviously a wildly successful coach in college ball at a variety of places, Providence, Kentucky, Louisville, now St. John's, Iona too. But in the NBA, he had moderate success with the Knicks, but was just awful with the Celtics when he was the coach and the team president from 1997 to 2001. John Calipari, another former UK coach who's at Arkansas now, failed with the New Jersey Nets. Jerry Tarkanian, he was biting that towel at UNLV, winning national championships, but he was a flop with the Spurs in 1992. Tim Floyd at Iowa State and UNO had success there. When he got to the Bulls after Phil Jackson had left and Jordan had left, no success there. John Beilein, successful at West Virginia, then moved on to Michigan. He signed a 5-year deal with the Cavs in 2019 when he was 66 years old. He didn't even make it out of his initial season. He stepped away in the middle of the season after the Cavs only won 14 of the 54 games he coached. Mike Montgomery. I'm telling you what, this list is long, okay? We will get to some of the success stories, but there have been a lot of duds out of the college game who tried to make it in the NBA. Now Dusty May is going to leave the national champs of Michigan, and he's going to try to do it. Once again, the question, why have so many successful college basketball coaches failed when they moved on to the NBA? The text line, 304-TALK, 304-825-5304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY. One word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. Now, let's bring him up to the stage. Chef Paul Smith to talk about food and the restaurant business. How you doing today, Paul?
Fantastic. What about you guys?
Hey, man, thanks for coming on the show. So give me a little bit of the lay of the land after we hung up last week and you went to the James Beard Award in Chicago. How'd that go for you?
Yeah, man, it was great. Obviously a little less stressful than the first 2 years we went. The last 2 years have been absolutely great. We have been able to meet a lot of great chefs, restaurateurs, beverage professionals, and also vendors from around the world and around the country. We've seen some familiar faces. We really got to know Mary Ellen Diaz, chef and owner at Alma B up in Shepherdstown, and what a absolutely lovely person, absolutely wonderful chef. Her family was great. Like, I could hang out with her every day. She really is the type of person that I would want to not only win the James Beard Award, but also represent our great state. She was wonderful. If I had to guess, I would say she came in third. But, I mean, hey, third out of, let's say, how many chefs are in these 6 states, right?
Right.
Millions. And I think that's the common thing is like, oh, you lost. No one that was at that award lost. When you're an Oscar-nominated actor or a James Beard nominated chef, that goes with you forever. And a lot of times, I don't even think it matters if you win or if you're nominated. Just to be in the conversation, to have that, Oscar title in front of your name, to have that James Beard title in front of your name, it makes a difference in your restaurant. It makes a difference in your town, in your city, in your state. It makes a difference to you. It is, and I think that's where a lot of people are like, well, what did you cook? Who'd you beat? What'd you win? Like, this is a lifetime of work. And it also really went, it really sunk in this year how incredible it is for a chef or a restaurateur, whomever, to win a James Beard Award. I mean, all of the stars have to align. When the judges came in to judge, you had to be on 100 that night and every night between. It's the Super Bowl every night when you're competing for something like that, and the stress levels are high, and just a little misstep, and that could be the difference in first and third or winning. It was awesome. We did a ton of great events. I got to take some photos with chefs like Rick Bayless and Nancy Silverton and these icons that, I look up to and emulate and follow and fanboy and all the things.
So Rick Bayless, I'm a fan of his. He's an incredible talent. So Paul, the tux goes back into the closet until next year, right?
Until next year, man. We'll see. I'm not sure if I'll go back next year. We're going to be, really focusing. I think every time that I go to events like this where you're around the best, you just get inspired. And that's why we keep going and we keep striving. We keep pushing the edges of the envelope, or like, how can we do better? How can the restaurants be better? How can we make it more perfect? How can we do things that other states or cities are doing, maybe that haven't gotten here yet, maybe just new ways of thinking, not only from a food perspective, but also a management perspective. And, there are management classes, there are trending classes, there are all kinds of different things that I learn in this 3 or 4 days. It is a whirlwind. It's, 6 a.m. until midnight, and I'm not usually one to go to the after events. But if the after events are the Waldorf Astoria and they're the best chefs in the world there, and I can, conversate with a few of them, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, there you go. We got some listener questions for you, but I got one question for you I want to ask. And I sent you an article about this earlier today about scrambled eggs. It's a simple question about scrambled eggs. Yeah. What do you think of the idea? I was reading about this method that took a teaspoon of pickle juice for each egg in your scrambled eggs. Have you ever heard that before?
I have not heard of pickle juice. We, if I'm doing it to in a large event, then I will add a little bit of acid to it because it does keep it from turning a little bit green. Sometimes when you overcook an egg, especially let's say you're making deviled eggs,
right,
and you get that green, around the yolk, that a little bit of acid in your water, a little bit, so pickle juice in your water, or I could see that being it. I mean, pickle juice is used for a lot of things, little salt, little sugar, little acid. I don't see anything wrong with it at all. I haven't done it, but hey, there's always tomorrow morning.
You know what? Well, listen, this next question, you're Italian, so this is going to be right up your alley, and we got it last week, and when I mentioned it in the 3 o'clock hour, I've already got a couple more text messages about it, about how you make your Giovanni. Okay, this is from the 304-669. Now, the Giovanni, we assume that the Giovanni basically came from North Central West Virginia, where you've got a patty of meat, you've got a little cheese, you've got some peppers on Texas toast. What do you think about the Giovanni? How do you make yours?
I kind of, that's about right, everything that you just said. I do a little garlic on the toast, kind of make it with garlic bread, a little thicker. But I just kind of keep it as simple as possible.
All right. So, here's the thing. If you kind of go away from any of the ingredients that I just mentioned, it's not really a Giovanni, right?
No, I completely agree with that. I mean, I guess there are so many different things. Do you put cheese in a pepperoni roll? Do you deviate from what makes the Giovanni, right? Do you, I guess as a chef or as a home cook, you could deviate from it and add whatever you want. But yeah, I don't think it is a Giovanni if it's not, the classical Giovanni.
You know what? I just got a text message from a listener who said, man, that the canteen in Staley in the Clarksburg used to have the best Giovanni. That is so true. That is so true. That place is missed by a lot. Here's another text question from one of our listeners. And speaking of burgers, 304-575. When you fry your burgers, do you use butter?
No, I do not. Well, I guess that's kind of a loaded question.
Okay.
When I do a smash burger, a lot of times we will do it with clarified butter. I think if you use whole butter, then you will get a little bit more of that char just because the milk solids will also caramelize or, the protein will brown. So it will add a little bit more flavor. But as I usually just kind of let the fat from the burger be the fat, you're kind of like, in some ways, I know this sounds weird, but in some ways, adding butter to an 80-20 patty, you're kind of taking sand to the beach,
right?
If you will. Like, I don't want it to be like greasy, not that it would make it greasy. And if you want that butter flavor, I get it. But also too, kind of as a purist, I just kind of let, it's like, I don't start bacon in a pan with butter, right? There's already fat in it, and I let that render down and then kind of baste in its own fat. So no, I would say no, I don't, but our griddle, whatever you're doing is already seasoned. So, no, I would say no. Just smash it down and let the burger fat be the fat.
Hey man, I've only got a minute here, but you played college soccer, you played high school soccer. You get a chance to watch any of Messi get the 2 goals today for Argentina?
I didn't watch today, but man, what an amazing person. I mean, he's 38 years old. He's always in the right place at the right time. And if you watch him, he just has soccer smarts. He knows where the ball is going to be before it's there. He is in the right place at the right time. It's kind of like the U.S. this year. A couple of the goals we've had have been a little bit garbage goals,
right?
But we're putting ourselves in the position to get those goals. I could not be happier for Messi. I think it's amazing. I think he's the GOAT. Hands down, I think he's the best soccer player of all time. He is small. He is shifty. He puts it in the back of the net. Like, he literally could touch the ball 5 times. Every time he touches it, the other team has to be aware. I'm actually going to a World Cup game on the 1st, and I'm hoping that we're going to see England and then a third-place team from one of the brackets. So I am like a kid in a candy store. I'm giddy. I'm going to buy a Messi jersey probably while I'm down there, and I won't even see them play. Like, I love what's going on right now in soccer in our countries, and it's awesome. I cannot wait.
Got to leave it there. Hey, Paul, have a great week. I'll talk to you next Monday. Thanks, man.
Always a pleasure, guys. Take care.
All right, let's take a quick break. Back with the Entertainment Report in a minute.
Don't forget about our podcast.
Check out your favorite podcast provider.
Or simply go to wvmetronews.com and click on the podcast link.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law.
On Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia is home. It's where we work, live, and raise our families. At the heart of our communities are West Virginia hospitals and their compassionate caregivers. From life-saving treatments and emergency care to wellness support and screening services, we are improving your quality of life through extraordinary achievements and amazing results. West Virginia Hospitals. Your health is the heartbeat of our communities.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
A vasectomy reversal is a much more complicated procedure than a vasectomy, using sutures that are essentially smaller than your eyelash to reconstruct anatomy. I do what I do to try to help the patients of West Virginia have kids.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at wvhtf.org.
At Dan Cabot GMC. Now get up to $12,000 off any 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate. Shop our great selection of new Acadias and Canyons. Lease a 2026 GMC Canyon Elevation for only $575 per month. And don't forget to check out our quality pre-owned vehicles. At Dan Cabot GMC, shop the world.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Sportsline on Metro News Television.
One of the ladies asked me in the forum if I know how to drive in the snow. I told her, oh yeah, I spent 5 years in Elkin.
See, that's one of those things. I mean, you're moving. This is basically coming back to Florida here when you get to Fairmont. I mean, this is easy.
It's going to be a breeze.
All right, time for Talkin' TV and more. Here are the latest entertainment headlines today from ABC.
ABC Entertainment News.
We're finding more abandoned toys each day.
Playtime may be changing, but the love for Woody, Buzz Lightyear, and Jessie is stronger than ever. Toy Story 5 brought in $160 million this weekend, becoming the biggest domestic debut of 2026. It's the second highest opening in Disney Pixar history. Disney is the parent company of ABC News.
People are starved for the truth.
Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day landed in a distant second place with $16 million this weekend. Despite the science fiction film seeing a dramatic 62% drop from its debut, its worldwide gross is already more than Spielberg's last two films combined.
I wish Nikki Freeman loved me more than anyone in the entire world.
Curry Barker's Obsession hit another milestone this weekend. The supernatural horror movie crossed the $300 million mark worldwide, more than 400 times its original micro budget. And happy birthday to Meryl Streep. The Academy Award winner turns 77 today. Mike Dubosky, ABC News.
Mike, thanks. Kristyn Burtt and the Hollywood Dirt is next. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
I'm meteorologist Brandon Weathers. A flood watch in effect until 11 p.m. Potentially severe storms today, with the main hazard being damaging winds, but some hail is also possible and an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. But the main concern will be flooding in the watch area until 11 p.m., where 1 to 2 inches or locally higher is very possible in this time frame. But then we quiet down Tuesday and Wednesday. Even during the day, Thursday should be mostly sunny. It would be later in the evening that widespread showers and storms return to the region. This evening, we have a front arriving from the northwest, and ahead of it is where the severe potential will be, mostly before 10 p.m. Non-severe storms may linger on the backside of that front overnight and then gradually push eastward through the day on Tuesday. But daytime accumulation, generally less than 1/10 of an inch, shouldn't be quite as wet of a day. Some fog possible overnight into Tuesday, then again overnight into Wednesday morning. Flies here W forecast. It starts at home. D.C., Atlanta, New York, Charlotte, Myrtle Beach. These areas seeing some lingering showers and storms from the same system Tuesday, then clearing out Wednesday and trending warmer at the end of the week ahead of the next rainmaker. Panhandle forecast. New Cumberland 57 tonight. Moundsville and Morgantown 59. We'll see about 76 to 79 here for our Tuesday. Davis 56 tonight. A bit milder toward Martinsburg's 64 low and 82 high. Back to Davis for a 67-degree high on Tuesday. Elkins 58 tonight. Then 73 for Tuesday. Looking toward Parkersburg. Ripley for just shy of 80. And in southern West Virginia, mid-50s to low 60s tonight, then low 70s to low 80s on Tuesday. As mentioned, the rain will taper off to the east Tuesday, will dry out Wednesday. Rain returns late Thursday and will stay active through the weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I love the state of West Virginia. I've met some of my best friends. I'm excited to be back. I still have my pickup truck. I still have four-wheel drive. One of the ladies asked me in the forum if I know how to drive in the snow. I told her, oh yeah, I spent 5 years in Elkins.
See, that's one of those things. Now that you're coming to Fairmont, you've handled the Elkins winter.
Yeah, if you can handle Randolph County.
I mean, you're moving. This is basically coming back to Florida here when you get to Fairmont. I mean, this is easy.
It's going to be a breeze.
Sportsline on Metro News Television. If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
Gentlemen, I could not care less if you read this message. All right, moving on to the next one. 304 Talk 304. Well, they said it, not me.
Oh, it's terrible. Read the guy's book.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
All right, welcome back. 26 till the hour. Kristyn Burtt, Hollywood Dirt coming up in just a sec. A little bit later on in the half hour, we'll open up the On This Date file, have the 5 things to know at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock hour is packed too. Carl Lee's going to be here, former NFL All-Pro defensive back of the Vikings and the Saints. We've got a variety of things to talk about with Carl. We'll play in or out at 5:25. 5:33, Todd Wright will be here, former ESPN radio host, Golf Channel anchor. We'll kick around some of the things that happened this weekend. The latest major in the world of golf, the United States Open, was determined at Shinnecock Hills this weekend. Wyndham Clark wins his second U.S. Open title and now moves into a kind of an elite category because you got to win 2 to get to 3. If he would win another, you're really getting into some rarefied air. What's the possibility of that? We'll talk about that. That'll be coming up in an hour. And then more of your responses to our question of the day. Speaking of which, let me do a quick reset on that today. So probably the biggest news in college sports today, I don't think anybody really saw this coming. After winning a national championship in college basketball, Michigan's Dusty May is leaving the college game for the NBA's Dallas Mavericks. And, of course, the NBA draft is tomorrow night, and the Mavs have emerging superstar Cooper Flagg, this year's reigning NBA Rookie of the Year. So here's the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. Why have so many successful college basketball coaches failed when they moved to the NBA? Why have so many coaches who've had wild success in the college game not been able to manifest that same kind of success when they've gotten into the National Basketball Association? We ran down the list a little bit later on, a little while ago in this hour, and we may revisit that in the 5 o'clock hour and give you some other examples of guys who started in college basketball who transitioned very seamlessly into the pros for a similar success. But that's the question. Why have so many successful college basketball coaches failed when they moved on to the NBA? I think a lot of people have been trying to figure out the answer to that for decades. The text line here is 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY. We've had some pretty interesting takes on this. We'll get into more of those in a bit, but not until we talk to Kristyn Burtt. Let's get into the Hollywood Dirt as she joins me from L.A. Kristyn, how you doing today?
Doing great, thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about Toy Story, right? Toy Story still has a friend in people who want to buy tickets, right?
They sure do. It's so interesting because this movie originally was tracking to earn somewhere around $140 million. And we knew this movie was going to be big. And then they kept it creeping up a little bit. They're like, maybe 145, maybe 150. Well, 160 million in North American theaters. And I think that this is just huge for the franchise. It's the biggest box office premiere that we have seen in 2026. And if you had told me even just last year, like, hey, we're going to reach 2019 numbers again, I'd be like, I don't think so. I don't think so, Dave. And here we are.
Here we are. So this is the biggest domestic opening, surpassing Super Mario, the Galaxy movie, which did almost 132 million. What is it? There's all kinds of things here. You've got Disney, you've got Pixar, you've got recognizable characters, you've got stars. It's pretty hard to mess this up.
Absolutely. And we have to remember it has been 2018 was the last time we saw Toy Story. So it's been a little while. If you want to introduce it to the preschool set, this is the perfect time because you're already into another generation. And this is an intra-generational film. Adults love it. They've grown up with it because you go back, this movie premiered in the 1990s.
Yeah.
That very first Toy Story.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I'm looking at this AP story about the money involved this weekend. The Toy Story franchise is now 31 years old. So you're talking about not one generation, you're talking about 2 generations.
That's right. I've got to imagine that in several families, it's the grandparents went with their kids who also took their kids. So probably 3 generations went in some cases too.
So if Tom Hanks or Tim Allen decided to leave this franchise for whatever reason, what kind of an impact would that even be at this point?
Oh, they do joke about it in the movie. I mean, spoiler alert, they joke a little bit about, balding heads and maybe a little bit of a belly, a beer belly or two with the toys. You know, I know Tom Hanks was asked about, are you here for Toy Story 6 if it exists? And he's like, it has to be good. And I think that that's a good point. Toy Story 4 was a tough movie. Like, a lot of people didn't like it, but we're really come back strong in Toy Story 5. Audiences loved it. The script has to be good. It has to go back to the heart of what Toy Story is. And this one, of course, talked about technology and how that has impacted kids not playing with traditional toys anymore.
Hey, let's just, the thing that's so crazy about some of these movies, Toy Story 5, when we're talking to Kristyn Burtt about the fact that it did 160 million domestic this weekend on the opening weekend. There was a time in this country where you wouldn't even imagine going to the movies to see an animated film, right? And now some of these animated franchises are amongst the most lucrative in show business. For example, how long does it take, say, Tom Hanks to cut all the lines for Toy Story? Can he do that in a week?
I mean, and he might have to come back for maybe some reshoots or some edits that they've done, but honestly, it's not a huge time commitment for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I mean, I just can't imagine how much the top level stars are getting paid just to not to act, but just to do voice work on these films.
Voice work, and then remember, they're going to get a cut of the merchandise.
Oh.
So yeah, there's a lot of money to be made in these animated films by Pixar. And even with a budget, this movie had a big budget of $250 million, not including the global marketing expenses. And it's still expected, of course, to earn a ton of money and then some, because globally you're already looking at $312 million.
Exactly. I mean, this thing in the opening weekend has pulled $350 million. So they've already made their money back.
And as any parent knows, I was just going to say, if you're going to Disney, every road and every ride leads to a gift shop.
That's exactly right. All right, let's talk about, we just, you were on hold when we were talking about the fact that we'll be discussing the U.S. Open Golf Championships in the 5 o'clock hour. But Wimbledon is coming up. So let's talk a little bit about some of the programming that's available for the 2 weeks, the fortnight at Wimbledon.
Yes, if anyone is looking for a classic 80s story about Chrissy Everett and Martina Navratilova, Netflix is going to deliver it to you. In fact, it debuts on the 26th, so this week. And it really just talks about not only their rivalry on the court, but their deep friendship off the court. And while this was filmed, both of them were going through cancer battles. And you're going to get a lot of stories from other people that were in and around tennis in the 80s. Of course, you always need like a John McEnroe quote here or there. And Mary Carrillo, of course. This debuted at the Tribeca Film Festival recently. It's gotten rave reviews. It's like a 96-minute movie. So if you are a tennis diehard, this is going to be a classic.
Yeah, so this is Chris and Martina, the final set. And you mentioned it's 96 minutes. I'm a big tennis fan. And I remember when I was growing up, I would go to Pittsburgh Civic Arena. I would see the Pittsburgh Triangles play world team tennis. And so I saw Martina Navratilova play in world team tennis very, very early. And she was just amazing. And the transformation of her body over the decades was pretty crazy too. I mean, she was just a tank on the court when I saw her all those years ago. And she had just amazing staying power. And it's funny how these two rivals kind of defined women's tennis for a couple of decades, and they're still really good friends.
Yeah, and very different, if you follow tennis, very different approaches to tennis, very different gameplay, and still they were each other's biggest challengers.
What's going on? We also, before we wrap this up, I have a couple other things I did want to ask you about. So there's going to be a Sesame Street movie, another one?
There is, believe it or not, and it's 27 years after we last saw a big movie for Sesame Street. It was 1999's The Adventures of Elmo in Grouchland. I think Gen X will remember Follow That Bird with Big Bird, and there was a bidding war over this. So Sesame Street is hot again. If you've got the preschool set, Netflix has really brought it back to attention, of course, and Netflix was the one who won the rights to it. But there was a bidding war between Warner Brothers and Paramount and everyone else, and Universal, and Netflix won out in the end.
So I remember there was some chatter about this a few years ago, and I think Anne Hathaway may have been assigned, or she may have been attached to this project. Is she going to be in this movie? Does she have time to be in this movie?
Well, she's pregnant. So
Again,
we
right.
will see. Yes, she's pregnant with her third child. She's got 5 projects coming out in 2026. We will see. I mean, this was just announced, so we'll see when they go into production. They haven't announced any cast members. We don't know if it's the entire gang from Sesame Street or if they're going to focus in on one particular character.
All right, one more topic here. Days of Our Lives. Deidre Hall. Now, this is pretty crazy. She's celebrating 50 years on this show. She's played Marlena Evans for a half a century.
Yes, Dr. Marlena Evans. I know a lot of people remember her from being possessed. That possession story was a really big one where she was levitating out of the bed. I was there. We actually celebrated her 50th anniversary last month on set, so I was there with her. What an incredible woman, really leads that entire cast. And if you remember, there were a couple, I want to say probably about 2 months ago, Ryan Gosling was singing her praises. And from everything I understand and talking with the Days of Our Lives producers, he is expected on set at some point. They're trying to figure out the schedule, but he's going to be visiting Deidre Hall after all of that.
You know, soap opera stars are so interesting on a couple of different levels. When I saw that you wanted to talk about this, I went back and I looked at her bio, and I knew that she had been on a show on NBC outside of that soap opera. So she was on Our Family with Wilford Brimley like 30 years ago. I mean, it's just funny to look at somebody who's built such a long career in soap operas, right? I mean, we assume that these stars make tons and tons of money. Is Deidre Hall really, really well off after 50 years of soap operas?
I haven't visited her house personally, but I think she's well invested at this point.
That's crazy.
She is the queen of daytime. And yeah, she did have that primetime show, Our House, with Wilford Brimley. That was back in the late 80s, I want to say, early 90s. And she's an absolute delight. And to be working 50 years later is incredible. It really is when you think about the rocky roller coaster ride that daytime has been on. And I'll tell you, things are looking up for daytime soaps right now.
That's pretty interesting, too, because she's played the same character, right? Now, there are some people who kind of like move around on the soap operas that are still around. But to be the same character for 50 years, is that a record? That's got to be close to a record, right? If it's not.
Close to a record, I would think so. I mean, because she did take time off to go and do the primetime show. So I'm wondering, Susan Seaforth Hayes might be rivaling her in terms of on Days of Our Lives, because she was on a little bit longer than Deidre. But it's amazing in daytime. They have several cast members who are celebrating 45 years, 40 years.
My goodness.
49 years. So it's amazing the staying power of some of these actors.
Kristyn Burtt, good stuff today. Kristyn Burtt, Hollywood Dirt, every Monday at 4:33. Thanks for coming on the show as always, and I'll talk to you next Monday. Have a great week.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Kristyn Burtt, Hollywood Dirt. All right, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll open up the On This Date file. Stay tuned.
Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Come check out this 2026 Sierra 3500 all-wheel drive and dual rear wheels crew Denali and this 2026 Sierra HD chassis cab. Both built to work. If your job demands more, they both deliver. You can build it your way from the ground up with a chassis cab or get the fully loaded, ready-to-work Denali Crew Cab dually. Custom or complete, they are both ready for work. At Dan Cavett GMC, shop the world.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniel's.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
West Virginia is home. It's where we work, live, and raise our families. At the heart of our communities are West Virginia hospitals and their compassionate caregivers. From life-saving treatments and emergency care to wellness support and screening services, we are improving your quality of life through extraordinary achievements and amazing results. West Virginia hospitals. Your health is the heartbeat of our communities.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
I think you need some appropriate business cards now, but you have your own personalized logo.
I got
a marshmallow with 4 toothpicks coming out of it. So congratulations, man. I think you need to announce yourself now.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
All right, welcome back to the show. 9 minutes till the hour. Don't forget, Carly's going to be here at 5 o'clock, and Todd Wright's going to join me at 5:33 for more in the U.S. Open. Time to open up the On This Date file, and we'll start with the birthdays, and we'll begin, as we always do, with the sports birthdays. Got some good sports birthdays today. Oh, Randy Couture, 3-time UFC champ, heavyweight champ, 63 years old today. Former Steeler tight end Eric Green, talented, kind of temperamental, 59 years old today. Kurt Warner, not the West Virginia high school star. Kurt Warner, the Hall of Fame quarterback from the Rams. He's 55 years old today. Talking about golf at 5:33. How about Dustin Johnson? Dustin Johnson won a U.S. Open in 2016. He's been part of the Ryder Cup multiple times. He's 42 years old today. Danny Green of the Spurs, the Raptors, the Lakers. He's got 3 NBA title rings. He's having a birthday as well. He is 39 years old today. Clyde the Glide Drexler having a birthday today. He is 64 years old. Here he is going into the Basketball Hall of Fame in the class of 2004.
Through basketball, I have been able to meet people from all over the world, to compete against the greatest players in the world of basketball. And for that, I'm grateful. To have success in any endeavor, you've got to have a good support system. And I was lucky to have great coaches such as Guy Lewis at the University of Houston, who, by the way, deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame.
The Glide was right about that, and Guy Lewis did end up going into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Celebrities having birthdays today. Cyndi Lauper, 73. Britt Hume from Fox News is 83. Meryl Streep, 77. Lindsay Wagner, the Bionic Woman, 77 years old today. Carson Daly, 53. Now, there's a lot of celebrities having birthdays today, including Peter Asher of Peter and Gordon. He's 82 years old today. He'll always have this hit, A World Without Love.
So I wait, and in a while I will see my true love smile. She may come, I know not when. When she does, I know. So baby, until then, lock me away. And don't allow the day here inside where I hide with my loneliness. I don't care what they say, I won't stay in a world without love.
There you go, Peter Asher, 82 today. But birth anniversary is Chris Christopherson. He was born in 1936. He died in September of 2024 at the age of 88. Mike Wagner of the Steelers, on 4 Steelers Super Bowl teams. Born in the state in 1949. He died in February of this year at the age of 76. Pete Maravich, born in the state in Aliquippa, 1947. He almost went to WVU. It's a good story. He died January 5th, 1988 at the age of 40. And speaking of tennis, Kristyn Burtt was talking about a documentary on Wimbledon, Chris Evert and Martina Navratilova. Today is the anniversary in 1981 of John McEnroe's famous meltdown at Wimbledon.
It was the wrong side. The ball, the chalk came up all over. No, it was a bit of a spread, Mr. McEnroe. That was a good call. Excuse me? That was a bit of a spread.
Look, you can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious! That ball was on the line. Chalk flew up. It was clearly in. How can you possibly call that out? How many you can miss? He's walking over. Everyone knows it's in this whole stadium, and you call it out? Explain that to me, will you?
Hey, man, that ball was in.
Because the ball was on this side of the court.
The chalk came on, it doesn't matter.
No, the very fact that there is a spread of chalk, as you can see, Mr. McEnroe.
It was in. That ball was in. Musical birthday to the break today. Todd Rundgren from Upper Darby, Delco, 78 years old. 5 things to know at 5 o'clock, and sports are coming next.
There's only one thing left that we can do. We gotta get you a woman.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
A vasectomy reversal is a much more complicated procedure than a vasectomy, using sutures that are essentially smaller than your eyelash to reconstruct anatomy. I do what I do to try to help the patients of West Virginia have kids.
At Dan Cava GMC, now get up to $12,000 off any 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate. Lisa 2026 GMC Canyon Elevation for only $575 per month. At Dan Cava GMC, shop the world.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Hey, welcome in, everybody, one and all. You got some breaking news to get to.
The most powerful radio show in West Virginia. And the people absolutely love it.
But that's something you're going to have to watch.
It's Metro News Talk Line, statewide sports line.
Metro News Midday.
The Metro News Hotline.
Game night.
3 guys before the game.
That's a good combination.
And it's on.
Metro News.
The voice of West Virginia.
Sports headlines at 5 o'clock at the World Cup. Lionel Messi, 2 goals. Argentina blanked Austria 2-0. Pirates are off. Dirty Birds are off. The Reds are in Milwaukee. And Dusty May leaving Michigan for the NBA's Dallas Mavs. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
I'm meteorologist Brandon Weathers. A flood watch in effect until 11 p.m. Potentially severe storms today, with the main hazard being damaging winds, but some hail is also possible and an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. But the main concern will be flooding in the watch area until 11 p.m., where 1 to 2 inches or locally higher is very possible in this time frame. But then we quiet down Tuesday and Wednesday. Even during the day, Thursday should be mostly sunny. It would be later in the evening that widespread showers and storms return to the region. This evening, we have a front arriving from the northwest, and ahead of it is where the severe potential will be, mostly before 10 p.m. Non-severe storms may linger on the backside of that front overnight and then gradually push eastward through the day on Tuesday. But daytime accumulation, generally less than 1/10 of an inch, shouldn't be quite as wet of a day. Some fog possible overnight into Tuesday, then again overnight into Wednesday morning. Flies here W forecast. It starts at home. D.C., Atlanta, New York, Charlotte, Myrtle Beach. These areas seeing some lingering showers and storms from the same system Tuesday, then clearing out Wednesday and trending warmer at the end of the week ahead of the next rainmaker. Panhandle forecast. New Cumberland 57 tonight. Moundsville and Morgantown 59. We'll see about 76 to 79 here for our Tuesday. Davis 56 tonight. A bit milder toward Martinsburg's 64 low and 82 high. Back to Davis for a 67-degree high on Tuesday. Elkins 58 tonight. Then 73 for Tuesday. Looking toward Parkersburg. Ripley for just shy of 80. And in southern West Virginia, mid-50s to low 60s tonight, then low 70s to low 80s on Tuesday. As mentioned, the rain will taper off to the east Tuesday, will dry out Wednesday. Rain returns late Thursday and will stay active through the weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's 5:06 in West Virginia. Time to start the third and final hour of our program today, Metro News Hotline. And look who's here, right where he's supposed to be, on Monday at 5 o'clock. Where were you last Monday? You were in North Dakota?
Yeah, went to Minnesota, and we went over to North Dakota and a couple different places over there doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
But you're back in your regular spot.
Back. Yeah.
Carl Lee, former NFL All-Pro defensive back of the Minnesota Vikings and the Saints, always with us, normally with us, in the 5 o'clock hour every Monday. I got a lot of stuff for you today, Carl.
All righty.
We will reset our question of the day here in just a moment. We will play in or out. That'll be at 5:25. Oh, Todd Wright's going to be here for a couple of minutes at 5:33, talking about the U.S. Open Golf Championships at Shinnecock Hills that wrapped up yesterday. Wyndham Clark wins his second U.S. Open title, and that puts you into some pretty exclusive territory. And just imagine if he would win a third U.S. Open championship. You got to win 2 before you can win 3. So I'll talk a little bit about that. In the weekend that was in golf, that'll be at 5:33 with the alumni of ESPN Radio and the Golf Channel. So we will get into that in just a few minutes. Let me do a quick reset on our question of the day. We've had a bunch of response to this. This is probably the biggest story in college sports today, and I think it really kind of came out of nowhere, and a lot of people have been reacting to it. After winning a college basketball national championship, Michigan coach Dusty May is leaving the college game for the NBA Dallas Mavericks on the eve of the NBA draft tomorrow. So here's the hotline question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law. Why have so many successful college basketball coaches failed when they moved on to the NBA? Why have so many successful college hoop coaches, and there have been a bunch of really, really wildly successful coaches in college who, for whatever reason, did not translate to the NBA. Why did they fail? So that's the question of the day, and you can weigh in on this as well on the text line at 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. I'm on X2 at Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. A couple of quick responses from X. Here's one from Anthony in Clarksburg. He says, "Hey, Dave, college coaches have more of a teacher-like mentality. Pro coaches are managers of some of the highest paid and the most talented professionals in sports. It's a hard transition." I agree with some of that. I think that's true. Here is 304. Dave, you buy the groceries you cook with in college. Very few coaches, if any, get to do that in the pros. You know, who was the person that said that the first time? That if you want to make the cake, you got to buy the. Was that Bill Parcells who said that?
I'm not sure, but it's really good.
Yeah, it is. It is really good. Carl, I got so much stuff to talk to you about. First of all, what are your thoughts on that? Why is it so hard for some of these college basketball coaches to successfully become successful in the NBA? What do you think?
I think the hardest part is to actually understand the difference of your talent and the individual with that talent, that personality, I would say. For professional athletes, I think the coaching piece is not all. You don't need all of it. And I think when you're in college as a coach, you're trying to make sure you get all the information out. And I just think it's different in the pros. You know, you can tell me what I did wrong and tell me, and go back into the game. You can't do all of the other kind of stuff. You can't yell. You can't do all those kinds of things because it just doesn't work.
I've got a theory. I want to run it past you. Okay. I mean, I ran down the list of coaches who have failed to be successful in the NBA after success in college. It's a pretty long list. Okay. Rick Pitino, John Calipari, Jerry Tarkanian, Tim Floyd, John Beilein, Mike Montgomery. It goes on and on and on. I think potentially it might be easier going forward because of the college game is changing. A lot of these guys in the past, the Patinos and the Caliparis, now college players are getting paid.
Yeah.
College coaches are basically blowing up their teams every single year, and you have to start over. I just kind of feel like college basketball is probably closer now to professional basketball. It is professional basketball, right?
Yeah.
Than it ever has been before. And when you talk about recruiting too, you used to have guys in the college game who were, super recruiters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, I can make this guy's mom love me.
Yep.
Or Uncle Fred is going to love me. Now it's really a lot more transactional, right?
Yeah. What are you going to do for me?
What are you going to do for me? It's like, hey, it doesn't matter if you like mom's apple pie on the recruiting trip. It's like, this contract needs another zero on the end of
Absolutely.
it. Okay.
I'm 100% behind that.
So what do you think about that theory? You think it maybe might be easier now because of the way the college game has changed to maybe transition to the NBA?
Financially, yes. And I think that, when you go and you're, the idea of, I think the idea is how much money am I getting in this transaction here? Like from here to there, what am I going to get? But the reality still is the game. Can you actually sustain yourself into the game for the years that you expect? Like you just can't. There's a lot of players who walk into professional sports from the collegiate level, football, basketball, whatever, and they think because they were great in college, automatically they're going to be great when they walk onto a team. and they're going to think that they're not going to have to do certain things. The vet players are going to have them do certain things if they're still doing those kinds of things, and they're going to humble you.
Yeah.
And if you can be humbled by that and keep playing, you got a shot. If you can't, you're not even going to make it on that team.
Okay, here's something that is occurring today. So we have a lot of listeners over in the Eastern Panhandle. Washington Wizards, ESPN's reporting today that Trae Young's going to sign a 4-year contract extension for a 4-year extension for $212 million. Now, when a team invests almost $250 million in a player, if there's a dispute between the player and the coach, who is the team siding with?
The player.
Exactly.
The player.
Okay.
Exactly. All day long.
Exactly. And that potentially is part of the problem here, right? Where in college, the coach is king. Okay.
Yes.
He's the determiner. He determines how much playing time you get. And that's the ultimate mallet, right?
That is a fact. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm with you on that.
Hey, the other thing I wanted to ask you about is we just had the North-South All-Star game in South Charleston on Saturday. North dominated the game. They won 34-7, and University Highs. Jack Byer had a great game. He ran for a touchdown. He threw a touchdown. He caught a touchdown. There's probably not too many players in the history of the North-South game. I'll have to ask my boy Mark Martin at Channel 8. He probably knows.
Yeah, he might know
He
that.
might know that list. But you played. Did you play in the first North-South game after it was brought back? What year did you play in that game? Was it 76? 75?
79.
Okay. So had there been – now, the North-South game was gone for a while, and it came back in the mid-'70s. Sam Huff was part of the movement to bring it back. Did you play in the first one that came back?
I don't think so. Because I want to say I thought that Robert
Alexander.
Yeah, I thought that Robert played in it. That would have been 76, I think. 76,
Let's see.
76, 77.
I think the first game back was 76. I don't know why.
I'm pretty sure that I remember Robert playing in it for some odd reason. But it definitely wasn't new for us because it was me and Kurt Warner, and we had seen it before. It wasn't like it was like new because it would have been a whole big deal, I think, if it had been brand new for us.
You know what? I have a newspaper clipping that somebody sent me of the North-South game from 1945.
Wow.
Okay, and the stuff that surrounded the game, there was a parade for the game, and the game was completely sold out. Sold out. Now, things have obviously changed. But it's still pretty impressive, though, when you say that, hey, you went into an all-star game with the best players in the state of West Virginia, and you ran for a TD, you threw for a TD, and you caught a TD, and not like in garbage time, in a game that one side dominated.
Of the best players in the state on both sides. Yeah, that's huge. I mean, any thing that you could achieve in the North-South game, to me, speaks volumes of your skill set. Not saying that if you don't do something special, that it changes it, but when you step out and you're a standout player in that game, you're a pretty good player.
You know, when the North-South game started back in the 30s, they used to play that thing on New Year's Day. Can you imagine?
No, I cannot.
Can you imagine? And I mentioned this in the top of the 3 o'clock hour. We've had, even in the years since they moved it to South Charleston High, that's where they play it now, they've had some days that were brutally hot, right? Brutally hot, and then they've had some other days where, rain really. But the weather this year was just fantastic. Just fantastic. So that really worked out really well for them.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
And we're going to get into the second half hour. Are you aware what's going on with the Geno Smith thing?
No, I did not hear that.
Okay, we'll talk a little bit about that as we move along this afternoon. So there is a little bit of a and one other thing I wanted to ask you. You were talking about the fact you were watching a World Cup yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? What would happen if the best athletes in America played for the United States in the World Cup. Say, for example, if you had been a high school football star and suddenly your path to professional sports would have been through soccer. You think we would dominate the World Cup or not?
Oh, gosh, that's a good one. I don't know. I don't know just because of being, maybe because I'm fast or was fast, and maybe athletic. I'm not necessarily still sure if someone has already been playing that game for 4 or 5 years. I don't know if I'm going to outplay them just naturally. I don't know if it's a natural game that you can walk into. You're hitting the ball with your head, your body, and you're handling the ball with your feet. I don't know if you can just walk into that game and be great.
Well, look at Lionel Messi. I mean, Lionel Messi's like, what, 5'7"? And he's just running rings around players. Just because if you put say the United States had Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill as the wings, and LeBron James was on the team as well. You don't know if that would be a massively successful team. No. Messi would probably still be able to score tons of goals. Messi today scored 2 goals for Argentina. He now has the record for the most World Cup goals, 18. And he scored in 6 straight World Cup games where he is – all you hear if you're going to play Argentina is we got to stop this guy. We just got to stop this guy. And he scored in 6 straight games and has 18 total goals. Let's take a break, and we'll play in or out in a moment. Stay tuned.
Hello, I'm Shane Fisher. I'm a senior project manager at Civil and Environmental Consultants, where I'm able to lead projects that change communities and work alongside top-notch professionals. We are employee-owned, so accountability and pride fuel the work that we do. Our motto, clients first, those aren't just words, it's a promise. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
Ready to make this boating season unforgettable? Head to Lou Wendell Marine Sales, family owned and operated for over 40 years and West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Lou and his sons are boating experts from sales to service to repairs. And right now, their lot is packed with incredible inventory and some of the best deals of the season. Whether it's weekends on the lake or sunset cruises with the family, Lou Wendell Marine Sales has your perfect boat waiting. Because they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com today.
You can call us at 800-765-8255. Text us at 304-825-5304. Or tweet at WEEKLEY. This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia is home. It's where we work, live, and raise our families. At the heart of our communities are West Virginia hospitals and their compassionate caregivers. From life-saving treatments and emergency care to wellness support and screening services, we are improving your quality of life through extraordinary achievements and amazing results. West Virginia Hospitals. Your health is the heartbeat of our communities.
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
At Dan Cabot GMC. Now get up to $12,000 off any 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate. Shop our great selection of new Acadias and Canyons. Lease a 2026 GMC Canyon Elevation for only $575 per month. And don't forget to check out our quality pre-owned vehicles. At Dan Cabot GMC, shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
All right, welcome back to the show, 525. Coop's out today. Hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. Time to play in or out. Every day at this time, we focus on the stuff you talk about at the office. We call it in or out. The setup, simple. 3 categories: food or beverage, gut reaction. Finally, this one's about a celebrity. The topics of which change daily. Let's get started with food or beverage. Ryan subbing in for Coop today. Are you ready?
Hi, Carl.
Hey.
Kraft has just announced a limited edition TSA-compliant ranch dressing kit targeting World Cup soccer fans obsessed with American ranch dressing. The unique kit features a clear TSA-approved quart bag, multiple ranch packets, the equivalent of a full bottle, and a ranch-themed luggage tag. The product responds to virtual videos showing international World Cup fans discovering ranch dressing for the first time as they have visited the United States for the World Cup. Ranch dressing, in or out?
There's this whole subsect of, what do you call it, philosophy called gastroeconomics. It's where, countries will use their cuisine to help them in diplomatic efforts. A lot of places like Vietnam do it, where they have a bunch of restaurants and they put them in other countries to basically improve their image. And this is a great opportunity to do that, especially to those poor people who need to eat beans on toast every day. So I will be in.
Going to be in. By the way, the TSA is also in on this campaign, posting one world, one ranch. Carl, ranch dressing, in or out?
I have to be in. One, I love it myself, and so I'm going to be in.
I'm going to be slightly in. Slightly in. I'll eat it, but it's not my fave. All right, gut reaction is next. Nearly half of U.S. adults notice brands in movies and TV shows. 45% say they always or often spot product placements. Food or beverage brands are the most visible at 76%, followed by automotive brands at 45%. Younger viewers aged 18 to 34 are more observant. 53% frequently notice placements compared to 39% for adults over 55. Product placements, in or out?
I think product placement is lazy because it keeps you from creating your own knockoff brand just for the movie, which I think is fun. So I will be out.
You'll be out. Product placements, Carl, in or out?
I'm going to be out. For the simple fact, I'm not really into that. It doesn't convince me to do anything one way or the other.
I'm going to be in because I always think I'm so smart when I see one in a TV show. I'm like, product placement right there. I'm going to be in. Finally, this one's about a celebrity. Morgan Freeman's releasing an album. Morgan Freeman is releasing an album called Morgan Freeman's Symphonic Blues Experience. 12 tracks of a century of blues music featuring artists like Taj Mahal, who I love, by the way, and Keb Mo. Morgan Freeman, Ryan, in or out? Morgan Freeman.
Can't be out on Morgan Freeman. He's got the iconic voice. He's got the iconic roles. I got to be in.
For extra credit, the age of Morgan Freeman.
72.
Carl, the age of Morgan Freeman for extra credit, in or well, first of all, I'm assuming you're in on Morgan Freeman. All right, for bonus points, Morgan Freeman's age.
I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to go say 77.
Morgan Freeman is 89 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
Morgan Freeman is 89.
He does not look it.
I know. Morgan Freeman, absolutely in. Is he the best president in the movies? When he always plays the president, he's so good. Absolutely. All right, Morgan Freeman, I'm in. Let's take a quick break. News headlines at the bottom of the hour. And then Todd Wright on the U.S. Open. We're talking golf next. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
I'm meteorologist Brandon Weathers. A flood watch in effect until 11 p.m. Potentially severe storms today, with the main hazard being damaging winds, but some hail is also possible and an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. But the main concern will be flooding in the watch area until 11 p.m., where 1 to 2 inches or locally higher is very possible in this time frame. But then we quiet down Tuesday and Wednesday. Even during the day, Thursday should be mostly sunny. It would be later in the evening that widespread showers and storms return to the region. This evening, we have a front arriving from the northwest, and ahead of it is where the severe potential will be, mostly before 10 p.m. Non-severe storms may linger on the backside of that front overnight and then gradually push eastward through the day on Tuesday. But daytime accumulation, generally less than 1/10 of an inch, shouldn't be quite as wet of a day. Some fog possible overnight into Tuesday, then again overnight into Wednesday morning. Flies here W forecast starts at home. D.C., Atlanta, New York, Charlotte, Myrtle Beach. These areas seeing some lingering showers and storms from the same system Tuesday, then clearing out Wednesday and trending warmer at the end of the week ahead of the next rainmaker. Panhandle forecast. New Cumberland 57 tonight. Moundsville and Morgantown 59. We'll see about 76 to 79 here for our Tuesday. Davis 56 tonight. A bit milder toward Martinsburg's 64 low and 82 high. Back to Davis for a 67-degree high on Tuesday. Elkins 58 tonight. Then 73 for Tuesday. Looking toward Parkersburg. Ripley for just shy of 80. And in southern West Virginia, mid-50s to low 60s tonight, then low 70s to low 80s on Tuesday. As mentioned, the rain will taper off to the east Tuesday, will dry out Wednesday. Rain returns late Thursday and will stay active through the weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I love the state of West Virginia. I've met some of my best friends. I'm excited to be back. I still have my pickup truck. I still have four-wheel drive. One of the ladies asked me in the forum if I know how to drive in the snow. I told her, oh yeah, I spent 5 years in Elkins.
See, that's one of those things. Now that you're coming to Fairmont, you've handled the Elkins winter.
Yeah,
this
if you can handle Randolph County.
I mean, you're moving. This is basically coming back to Florida here when you get to Fairmont. I mean, this is easy.
It's going to be a breeze.
Sportsline on Metro News Television. If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
Gentlemen, I could not care less if you read this message. All right, moving on to the next one. 304 Talk 304. Well, they said it, not me.
Oh, it's terrible. Read the guy's phone.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. 26 minutes till the hour. Oh, good. Todd Wright's coming up. So Todd Wright, ESPN Radio overnight, is probably one of the best to ever do it. And also a contributor to the Golf Channel. My go-to guy when it comes to golf.
I hear you,
Carl. And I don't even ask you about golf anymore because your clubs are in the trunk. And the last time I even asked you about it, you didn't even have them in the car, right?
Yeah, I'm not your person.
So when was the last time you played golf?
Actually, I played in a tournament when I was in Minnesota this past week.
Really?
Yes, and it was not good.
Which one of the not good? Hey man, the worst day on the golf course is still pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Which one of your Viking teammates drives the ball the farthest, you think?
Probably Ted Brown.
Ted Brown.
Yeah, the running back. He's a great player. He's probably one of the best players that I've seen as far as Viking players and in any of the tournaments up there.
All right. They gave you clubs, or did you?
No, I brought mine.
You brought your own.
Yes.
Oh, you show off, Carl. Hey, our question of the day. I guess maybe this is probably one of the biggest stories in sports. After winning a college basketball national championship, Michigan's Dusty May is leaving the college game for the NBA's Dallas Mavericks. The draft is tomorrow night. We got a local tie on that. I'll get to that in a sec. Question of the day is sponsored by Salango Law. Why have so many successful college basketball coaches failed when they moved on to the NBA? Why have so many successful college basketball coaches failed when they moved on to the NBA? We've had a lot of response to this. You can text those in, 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. I'm on X. Yeah, I'm still there. At Weekly, WEEKLEY. One word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. One quick text, 304-669. Hey, Dave, there are two huge differences between college sports and pro sports. Pro sports were always a business. College sports, you had coaches who were invested in values and watching character building in a family atmosphere in college. You had kids for mostly 4 years that you could teach and develop into today's college game, not so much. That's the reason coaches like Nick Saban have retired, and unfortunately, I think it's going to get worse. We'll get into more of that in a bit. But I want to get Todd Wright's take on the just completed U.S. Open at Shinnecock Hills. How you doing today, Todd? Thanks for coming on the show.
Hello, Dave Weekly. How are you?
I am fine. By the way, before I just talked about the Dusty May situation, I always want to point this out, that you are the first person at ESPN who started referring to the NBA as the association.
That's right.
And people still do that. I mean,
yes.
You must really love the fact when you hear that somebody call the NBA the association.
I do in a way, but even as I brought it up, say 1 year or 2 years after I started doing it, to people who were using the term, they looked at me like I was crazy, that they didn't believe that I had started that. And I basically would look at them and say, where did you get it from? Ask them where they got it from. Ask them where they got it from. It was a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon that ultimately led right back to All Night with Todd Wright.
There you go. All right. Let's talk a little bit about what happened at the U.S. Open this weekend. Just first, your general impressions on Wyndham Clark's win.
He was one of the hottest players on the planet coming in, and he certainly played like it. Throughout the first round, maintenance Friday and Saturday, doing enough to hold off some worthy competitors on Sunday, based on his win in Texas and his performance at the Memorial. Probably playing even better golf the last month than he played when he won his first major championship. So there were many who felt he might not be the guy to beat, but he would be a contender to win. He took advantage of late afternoon conditions on Thursday to build a lead. He never relinquished.
So yesterday he was paired with Scotty Scheffler. Scheffler was trying to complete the career Grand Slam before he was 30 years old. Some of the fans at Shinnecock Hills gave him a hard time. Some fans had to be ejected. Listen, you've run your own tournaments in Florida, so I have to ask you, when is enough enough? I mean, when is it time to eject a fan in golf?
Immediately. That's when you do it. Look, I don't care what the reasons were that people had for what they were vocalizing or what they are saying now about Wyndham Clark. There are many reasons for it. I understand all of them. Some of them, yesterday in particular, may have still been Knicks fans still hungover from winning the NBA title, adding more beer to it at Shinnecock, and then placing a legal wager on anyone but Wyndham, which was a popular refrain getting people thrown out because they actually had skin in the game yesterday. It doesn't matter. It not only doesn't matter to me what their reasons are, they don't matter. It doesn't take away from Wyndham Clark becoming a two-time major champion. And I would argue, Dave, when you win 2 U.S. Opens, it's probably more significant than winning 2 Masters. It's probably more significant than winning 2 Claret Jugs or winning 2 Wanamakers because it's more difficult based on how it's a different golf course each time and the way the USGA prepares the golf course.
What do you think the chances are that Clark can win a third? And if he would win a third, we're really getting into rarefied air. Tiger and Hale Irwin have 3. Ben Hogan and Jack Nicklaus have 4. How realistic is the possibility he could win a third?
It is more realistic that someone who has done something twice can do it a third time than it is that someone who's never done it can do it once, or someone who's done it once can do it twice. I talked about this on my podcast, which will drop within the next 24 hours. If people just want to Google the Todd Wright Toddcast, it's all about golf. It's all about Wyndham Clark and the reaction to Wyndham Clark's win. And Dave, I firmly believe this. There are 3 types of people in sports: those who've never won a championship, those who've won one, and those who've won more than one. And I think the gap between those who win one and more than one is as significant as the gap between those who've never won and those who've won one. I don't want to say it's easy once you win 2. Once you win 2 golf majors, once you win 2 tennis majors, once you win 2 Super Bowls, once you win 2 Stanley Cups. But from the people and athletes and coaches I talk to, and Dave and Carl, you know these guys too. They say it just makes you hungrier. And you can put yourself in a place where you've done it before and you want it even more than you wanted it the first time. And it's a heck of a combination. You know what? I've got a couple other golfers that took part in this event I want to ask you about. I grew up with Brooks Koepka's dad, and when he won back-to-back U.S. Opens, we're thinking, hey, he's going to start stacking these majors and the U.S. Open titles like cordwood, and that just hasn't happened. What do you will Brooks Koepka ever win another major? I think he can get there, yes. I would not bet against Brooks Koepka. It's been quite a road for him. I do buy that in addition to the live money being too tough to turn down, he was at a point in his life where he didn't know how much more money he could win physically, and he had all that guaranteed money in front of him. He took the path back. He beat Patrick Reed, and then all these other guys, as Liv is now dying as we speak, to get back. I liked a social media video I saw over the weekend was comparing the putting practice techniques on the putting green at Shinnecock of all these respective players. And of the 10 they showed, the only one who simply had a ball down and a putter without any device, without any coach, was Brooks. See it, hit it. He makes the game as simple as possible. And yes, I think we can see him win another major. You know, it looked like for a while yesterday that Clark was going to fall back and that
Sam Burns would either pass him or force a playoff. How are you feeling about Sam Burns after coming so close and having a couple of makeable birdie putts on 17 and 18 to finish out his round yesterday?
Yeah, he's going to remember those putts for some time. But you know what? That'll just build that chip on his shoulder that he still had, that you and I talked about via text yesterday from the casual water ruling that he didn't get on 15 a year ago that led to double bogey and basically crashed his efforts to win. I think it's good that Burns still talks about it. I'm sure he'll still talk about these putts, and it will motivate him even further. I don't put Burns in the category of a Koepka, of a Clark, of guys who have won multiple majors, but he's contended. Can he get there to get one? I'd say he could. I won't say he will, but I won't say he won't.
Hey, we're starting to wind down with Todd Wright talking about the U.S. Open yesterday at Shinnecock Hills. Wyndham Clark winning his second U.S. Open title. Hey, Tom, before we go, I wanted to ask you about the LIV Tour. So we had a LIV event here at the Greenbrier recently. Obviously, the Saudis look like they're going to be pulling some money out of this other tour. What's the future for the guys who are on the LIV Tour now? If they want to get back to the PGA Tour, what's your take on that?
They've missed their chance. Not all of them had the path that Brooks Koepka did. And certainly Patrick Reed got out in front of this and created his own path back, and he'll be ready to go end of the year and for the beginning of 2027. Dave, the PGA Tour is changing some things, and it's not in place for 2027, but we will have that Track 2 non-signature status for events in 2028. The reality is that these LIV guys who want to come back to the PGA Tour will not be able to get back in 2027. And when and if they come back in 2028, they will not be playing in these highly funded signature events. They will not be eligible for the Players. They will not be eligible for the FedEx Cup playoffs and the payoff. They will be in the Track 2 events. They will be in secondary events where they will be competing against those with lesser status from the previous year on the PGA Tour and a bunch of Korn Ferry guys. And they will have to win their way up to play on that highest level of PGA Tour in 2029. So it feels like it's a long way away, and it is a long way away. That's what's in front of the LIV guys to try to get back to the status that they had before they left.
Hey, Todd, I always enjoy when you're on the show. Hey, what are you hearing about Baker Mayfield? What are you hearing about this? Are they going to get a contract done, or is he going to bet on himself this year?
Bet on himself and then probably franchise tag next year. And after that, I have no idea.
All right. Todd, thanks for coming on to talk about the U.S. Open. I appreciate it.
No problem, Dave.
All right. Todd Wright probably did it as well as anybody ever at ESPN Radio on the overnights, and also a big contributor to the Golf Channel as well. Talking about golf. I didn't see you weighing in with any questions, Carl.
If I could play golf, I could weigh in.
Let's take a break. We're coming back with more in just a moment. Stay tuned.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
Come check out this 2026 Sierra 3500 all-wheel drive and dual rear wheels crew Denali and this 2026 Sierra HD chassis cab. Both built to work. If your job demands more, they both deliver. You can build it your way from the ground up with a chassis cab or get the fully loaded, ready-to-work Denali crew cab dually. Custom or complete, they are both ready for work. At Dan Cavitt GMC, shop the world.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
A vasectomy reversal is a much more complicated procedure than a vasectomy, using sutures that are essentially smaller than your eyelash to reconstruct anatomy. I do what I do to try to help the patients of West Virginia have kids.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Photographs and documents today.
All right, welcome back. Always good to get Todd Wright on the show. We like to have him on the day after the majors in golf, so always good to talk to him about that. So, I mentioned this very briefly at the top of the show, and I wanted to bring this up as we get ready to close things down with Carl Lee about the Geno Smith controversy. So this story is beginning to break out. It emerged yesterday, right around 5 o'clock on Father's Day, no less. So there was a woman who put out a video yesterday on Instagram. It goes about 85 seconds, where there is text over the video at the beginning where she goes to Geno Smith's house. And this woman, Kristyn, is claiming that Geno Smith, and I'm paraphrasing here, beat her up, is too busy watching porn and playing Call of Duty to take care of his special needs child. And then in the video, you see Geno Smith in his garage, and there's a little bit of a scuffle outside the garage. The woman runs back to the street. Words are exchanged. Then Geno Smith goes to a car. The car door opens. You see Smith inside the car, and it's not determined whether that's his car, probably is, or her car, where he's taking out some expensive Birkin bags and maybe some cash. And at the end, you see the police have arrived, and it goes for about 85 seconds. Various outlets, including TMZ, have picked up this story, and I see it's on Pro Football Talk now. And in the story, which is written by Mike Florio, he says that Fox Sports South Florida is reporting that this case has already been closed. Here's the thing, Carl. You're a former professional athlete, okay? Nobody likes their dirty laundry out there in public. And even if Geno Smith is innocent of these allegations that were made in this Instagram video that has now been viewed literally thousands of times, that genie never really goes back in the bottle, you know? Oh, let me get your mic on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's not. And for people who may have loved you, may only now like you and or maybe don't like you at all because of what they think happened, whether they know it or not. The reality of having something like that on your record is not good. It's not something that you want out in public, and this seemingly is pretty well out there.
It's definitely out there.
Yeah.
It's definitely out there. The other thing is, Geno Smith's experience with the Raiders did not go well,
right.
and that's putting it mildly.
Yeah.
So their fans are piling on here, and he's the quarterback, the projected starting quarterback for the New York Jets. And the Jets, let's be honest, have been a grease fire for many years now. And so this is just kind of a symptomatic of what you would expect if you're a Jets fan. As I said, if the people are seeing this story, they're talking about this story, and if Smith, who's been in the league for a long time, maybe he has not made a public statement about it. Would you advise him to come public and make a statement, either commenting on the allegations or denying them totally?
If I was sure that he did not do it, I would definitely say something. You don't have to say a lot, because the more you talk, the more you could get yourself in a situation. But I would make the case that I did not do it and call it a speech, okay? But on the other side, you just don't, sometimes it's just better not to say anything and let everybody else talk until it actually comes to wherever that truth meets the road. I think that's the best way to go about it.
Obviously, I don't care for these types of stories. And,
right.
And it's doubly awful now that it's involving a former local college
right.
hero.
Yeah.
But I just kind of felt like it needed to be addressed because it's definitely out there and people are talking about it.
True.
Carl, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Let's take a quick break. We're back to wrap it up for the day in a moment.
Veterans, plan ahead to ensure your loved ones are protected at the end of your life. Include a copy of your discharge papers with your will. Apply for VA life insurance. Write your healthcare decisions in a living will. Review survivor's benefits. Explore VA burial options with a pre-need application. Don't wait. Visit va.gov/plan-ahead to learn more.
What's on your to-do list? Check your mail? Get groceries? How about getting your annual vaccines? We can help you check that off.
You've got this.
Yes, you do. Because we've got you. With local vaccine events and access to transportation, protecting yourself and your loved ones is not a chore anymore.
You've got this.
A message from the Aging and Disability Vaccination Collaborative, powered by U.S. Aging. Funded by the U.S. Administration for Community Living through a grant to U.S. Aging. Learn more at yougotthis.usaging.org.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope for a better future. Friends, they are the future. But did you know that millions of kids are facing hunger every day? Food is not just food. It's energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Thank you!
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. My why is diversity in unity, a safe space in my community, living with sincerity, giving every day my everything. With my why, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your why. Learn more at ymca.org for a better us.
Ask yourself what you will miss more, your children or cigarettes. As long as I can remember, my mother smoked. She died from lung cancer when I was 16. I could not take the chance of continuing smoking and not being here for my daughter. I know how much I needed my mom still, and I didn't realize it until I had lost her.
You're not just quitting for yourself. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
After my wife died, I felt like I lost everything, including my love of fishing. But one day, my granddaughter called, and I realized I still had a lot to look forward to. I got referred to a psychiatrist who explained depression can happen to anyone. Getting help doesn't make me weak. It makes me stronger. I just wish it made me better at fishing.
Mental health care is working for Diego. See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for the show today. We thank you so much for listening, sending your answers to our question of the day and more. Stay tuned for the news at the top of the hour. Sportsline is on the other side. My name's Dave Weekley. I'll talk to you tomorrow, beginning at 3:06, right here on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
On the Metro News Network is presented by Salango Law, salangolaw.com. Hear Hotline weekdays from 3 until 6 on this Metro News station or wvmetronews.com. Visit the site or your favorite podcast service for past shows and features. This has been Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.